Good evening, everyone. I, Shubham Shrivastava, on behalf of eCell, extends a warm welcome to everyone present here for our eCell inauguration with a very special speaker session by an industry veteran. The topic of event is the scope of entrepreneurship in financial market. Most of us here are linked to securities market, a place where mature companies, which was once a startup, gets listed. Today, we will try to decode what are the entrepreneurship opportunities available in the financial market. Moving forward, I would like Miraz sir to introduce and welcome our notable speaker of the evening. Thank you. Miraz sir.
Good evening, all of you. Good evening, Vivek ji and all the students. My audio had some problems, so that's why I have joined late. So very warm welcome to our speaker, Mr. Vivek. Uh, I hope he doesn't need any introduction because everybody is watching his video. And one thing which I observe about Vivek ji YouTube channel is that uh, the quality of the content is very rich. So let's for the brief introduction for the all of you. So here the Vivek ji is a co-founder of Credent Info Age, an enterprise involved in simplifying finance for everyone. He has over 20 years of experience in financial market. He's a chartered accountant, company secretary, and MBA from IIM Indore. He's passionate about data, technology, and education. He has been involved in empowering people with right learning and analytics in finance through his online venture elearnmarket.com and StockAge. Today, elearnmarket.com has over 1 million learners and StockAge has over 2.5 million downloads. Vivek ji is an active knowledge contributor across social media platform in the domain of financial literacy. He has over 350,000 YouTube followers. I am also among them, and 2 lakh Twitter followers, and also run one of the famous stock market podcasts in India, Face to Face, in the YouTube channel of eLearn Market, which has over 6 lakh subscribers. So welcome Vivek sir to this session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Miraz sir, for this kind introduction. I hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So great. So this is one of my favorite topic. And for a change, I'm not talking about trading and investing and sharing strategies with everyone. For a change, I'm going to talk about my favorite topic, which is entrepreneurship, and I'm very excited to share this with the august audience like yours who are into stock market, into financial market already. NISM is everyone knows about NISM, and I believe you guys are studying in that beautiful campus, and you guys are having that lovely time. I got an opportunity to visit the campus a couple of times, and I think NISM is definitely a great institute to talk about financial market, to learn about financial market. And the whole entrepreneurial, the fact that you guys have started this and you want to become an entrepreneur is heartwarming because not many people actually want to take that path. And financial market is such a beautiful platform, especially people who are really passionate to build something for themselves. And in this stage of our country, where people have totally focused on our country, any industry, be it pharma, chemical, real estate. After China, now this is going to be the next big growth driver for coming decade. So I think this is a perfect time to think about entrepreneurship in financial market. So I don't have any presentation. I don't have anything. I just thought let it be more candid conversation, and we'll be happy to take as much questions as possible because I think this topic doesn't deserve a presentation. This topic deserves dialogue, discussion, because it's a very tough thing to get into. Entrepreneurship has glamour. It has all everything what you need. It has, you always want to be an entrepreneur. That's how we all have been made. India is known for creating entrepreneurs. but obviously it has its own perils, and we all should know exactly what we are doing. So let me just start by sharing a short journey of my entrepreneurial. It may be boring also, but kindly bear with me. And thereafter, I'll talk about few things which you can do as an entrepreneur if you want to get into stock market. And then I'll start taking questions. Okay. So my journey of entrepreneurship has been quite blessed, I would say. I belong to a family business environment where I've seen businesses. I've seen my father leaving his job way back in 1990 and getting into financial market as a full-time participant. So that whole concept of seeing financial market as an entrepreneur, as a full-time businessman, it was there as part of my family. So it was easier for me to take that decision. So I know that it's not an easy decision because I've seen my father leaving the job and getting into financial market, into full-time business. And it's a very tough decision because this type of occupation is quite volatile, quite dynamic. So there is no stability of income. I mean, when I'm talking about 1990s, when my father was into it, then obviously India was different India. Now the India is different India, market is a different India. So obviously the opportunities are much, much higher. But talk about that time, I was blessed that my father took that bold decision and got into markets. He took the membership of Calcutta Stock Exchange. By virtue of that membership, we as a younger guys, we were exposed to financial markets. So I used to visit CSC building and I used to see them shouting, making all those finger gestures. I'm sure you guys have seen the movie, the Harshad Mehta series which came. So all those things was actually there. I've seen those. So it was easier for me to take a call whether I want to become a financial market full-time participant. But my father never wanted me to become a financial market person. He was always insisting, like all of our father figures, that don't get into stock market. It's a speculator's den. It's a risky business, risky occupation to be in. Surprisingly, because my father himself was into market, and still he used to tell me not to be into it. I guess because of the historical baggages which we are carrying in our market, thanks to Harshad Mehta, thanks to Ketan Parekh, it was always believed in our society that stock market is not for sensible people. It is for people who can't do anything, they get into stock market. So maybe my father was carrying the same baggage, which is I can't complain because that's how Indian market history has been. But when I did my qualification, so I did my BCom, MCom, and CA, CS, I realized that, as a qualified person, it's far more easier to take bold decisions. And I have always been kind of someone who has challenged himself in taking some unique decisions for himself. So I did my CA and then I joined Bombay JM Financials as a marketing executive. So I used to do kind of door-to-door selling of mutual funds, not exactly retail, but kind of corporate selling. That gave me a good understanding about sales and marketing. And I knew that as a CA, we are not exposed to marketing side or sales side. And it's important for me to get that exposure because ultimately everything is sales. Whatever you do in life, ultimately, if you don't know the selling skills, there will be massive, massive shortfall you will face in your future. So I started with sales and then I thought that maybe this is not something which I should do in Bombay. I can come back to Calcutta and I start my own mutual fund sales company. So I started my own mutual fund distribution business in way back 2001, which failed. And I was very happy that it failed. First business, if it fails, it's actually a great thing because it gives so much of learning because we always want to win, right? But when you fail, that failure gives us so much to think about ourselves, so much to go back to our drawing board and revisit ourselves. So it failed, and then fortunately, derivatives markets was launched in 2002, and I thought that let me also try my luck with derivatives trading, and I started trading. I was making money in trading. That time it was far more easier to make money in trading because price inefficiency was there. Now market is obviously matured. There are fights going on between robots in the market. But that time it was relatively easy to make money. So 2002, I traded, I made money, and I somehow I felt that I'm not a trader who would sit in front of trading terminal and trade whole day and make money. I am kind of a person who loves to build enterprises, loves to build businesses. So I thought an MBA is something which is required because an MBA helps you to get that 360-degree perspective about doing business. So I went and did my MBA from IIM Indore. I was fortunate that I got admission there, and 2005 I came back and I joined JM Financials again as a commodities analyst. That time no one was thinking of commodities because people were so engrossed with equity and equity as an asset class, and commodities were like down and out. If you are part of commodities market, people used to consider you to be a failure who didn't do anything. That's why the person is going into commodities. But people don't realize that whenever there is new market, there is a massive opportunity in that new market. And I have always been, as I said, iconoclast. I have always been trying to do something different. So I joined commodities, and half of this salary which I got in JP Morgan, but I didn't join JP Morgan Investment Banking. I joined JM Financials as a commodity analyst as their first employee. Why? Because I knew that I want to do business of commodities after I leave JM. I left JM in 9 months and I started my own commodities trading desk by coming back to Calcutta. And that decision, probably on the hindsight, looks like a very good decision now. That I started my own commodities trading. 2006, 7, 8 was the golden period for people to make money from financial market because of the huge rally. In fact, what has happened recently from 2020 onwards, similar thing was happening in 2006, 7, 8. And fortunately, I made good money there. Then I started currency trading when currency market was launched in India. And then algo trading came. So, I thought that because technology is changing everything, I need to evolve as well. But I am not a technocrat. I don't understand technology. So what do? I learn technology. I partner with a couple of IITians who taught me how to use technology to trade. And it was a great journey for me also to learn technology while they are my partners. We had 7 partners then, where we together created a technology proprietary trading firm, and we are still learning that company. So technology, post technology, I realized that doing trading using technology is great, but am I adding value to society? So 2013, I went through a bit of midlife crisis. I could say everyone goes through it. Someone does it at 40, someone does it at 30. Very few people does it at 50 these days. Midlife crisis is coming far at a younger age these days than it used to be earlier. So I thought that what do? I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. I'm not enjoying trading. I have made enough money for me to sustain myself. So what do? So I read a book called Bloomberg by Bloomberg, which is about Michael Bloomberg. What he created was amazing. And I got so impressed with him that I thought, let me just get into it now and create a Bloomberg ecosystem for retail investors in India. And that's where Elon Markets was formed, Stockage was formed. All my businesses are in partnership with some partner. My trading desk had my partners, my family members. We are joint family, we are 4 brothers. We understand the art of living together, working together, understanding each other, compromising with each other's negativities. So that thought process of working with people has really helped me in working with different kind of people. So my algo trading firm is with a different kind of people. My stockage is with different people. Elon markets is with different people. So I've been blessed with working with good partners. I think the most important thing for an entrepreneur is to become a people's person. And I think I've cracked that code. I really understand how to work with people because I don't ask them to work. They ask me to work. And most of the time I'm empowering my team members to work for the company for the right cause. Stockage, Elon Markets has such a broad cause of empowering retail, every single retail. And in India, you see there is so much of scope in taking the right financial knowledge, right data access to the remotest part of our country. I travel all across when I visit places like 200 kilometers from Jaipur. I just came back yesterday from my trip from Rajasthan, where I went there for leisure. At the same time, I talk to people and I see people have no understanding about finance. And there's so much to be done to teach that Bharat. I say that we have to reach to Bharat. India already knows finance. Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, we all know finance. But the Bharat doesn't know it. So the idea is to reach there and teach people what really needs to be known to excel in financial market. So this has been my journey. It has been quite decent. Now we are almost across all the companies. We have 500 people. We are managing decent capital for ourselves. And more than anything else, I'm really connected with the grassroots level of our country and working hard to make them empowered in the knowledge of financial market. Now, let me come back to your opportunities in financial markets. So first thing first, massive opportunity, massive. You can't imagine the kind of opportunity our country is offering to us. We should be blessed that we are living in this era in our country. I mean, I'm 43, so I see that I still have given my 15 to 17 years of my career into markets and in this country. But you guys are so young. You have so much to do in coming 20 years. So if you are looking to build some kind of a career in financial market, it's a great decision you would like to take. Second thing, I think one of the things which really helped me in building my career is when I joined an organization as an employee. Once you join an organization as an employee, you understand the processes, you understand how to deal with your subordinates. And obviously, when you have boss on top of you, it really makes a difference because a boss will give you both kind of experience. A good boss will give you a different kind of a learning, and a bad boss will also give you a different kind of a learning where you know what not to do in future. So it's always good to join an organization, work there for 2-3 years, gain that experience of a large organization setup, and then start something on your own. Third thing is, when you talk about financial market is a place which has all the businesses. Imagine, I mean, if I have to ask you that there is one place which is aggregator of all the businesses, it's financial market. So if you want to learn about any industry, financial market is the best place. So if you are looking to build a career as an entrepreneur in financial market, let me classify this as an entrepreneur in 3 classifications. One is as an investor, second is as a trader, and then third is as a service provider. So as an investor, can you become a full-time investor and called an entrepreneur? Yes. If you are an investor in financial market, full-time investor, you are literally running that company. Literally. That means you are also an entrepreneur. But the art of doing investing and getting engaged with that company is not easy. But yes, if you start today, maybe after 4-5 years, you will become so strong investor that literally you will be running that company with the promoter of the company. Number 2, trader. We all know that trading is a full-time occupation. If done properly, it can be extremely rewarding. As an investor, you can expect an IRR of maybe between 18 to 22%. And as a trader, if you do it correctly, then your IRR can shoot up to as high as 25-30%. Why? Because trader obviously takes higher risk and higher allocation of time is there from trading perspective. So you can think of becoming a full-time trader. Again, it is advisable to join a prop trading firm or a trader first, learn the skill set, and then think about doing on your own. Because ultimately, when you are thinking of becoming a trader or an investor, you also need capital. And bare minimum capital which is required for you to come into the market would be at least 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, at least. If you don't have that kind of a capital, then it's good to learn, but then on an absolute terms, you don't get too much of returns. So you will probably not get motivated enough and you will not get that absolute capital at the end of the month to live your good lifestyle. So to become an investor or a trader full-time, a minimum capital of probably 10 lakh is something which is desirable. Third is if you want to become a service provider. Now there are different kind of service providing opportunities available in market. You can become a sub broker. You can connect yourself with any broker, say for example with say Kotak or ICICI, Securities, etc. You become their sub broker and you solicit clients and you serve the client as well. You get profit sharing as high as 60-70% with the sub-broker. Literally, you become an intermediary there. Second, you can become a research analyst and you can start your own research services. Research analyst there's a regulation by SEBI called Research Analyst Regulation. I think the NISM exam 13 talks about that. So you can take the exam, pass the exam, apply to SEBI. There are certain criteria you need to meet, and you can become a research analyst and start giving research services to the clients. Third is you can become an investment advisor. Investment advisor is someone who advises client to invest, not just in equity, but in other financial assets. So I think the exam which you need to pass in an ISM is 10A and 10B. Once you pass these two exams, you can apply to SEBI and become an investment advisor. I think from an investment advisor perspective, SEBI has a requirement of 2 or 3 years of experience, relevant experience. So you as a fresher may not get the license, but if you work again with some firm for 2-3 years and then start your own investment advisory firm, I think you can get the license. After you become an investment advisor, and if you want to run your own portfolio management services, you can take the PMS license. After you are done with the PMS, like if you want to scale up really fast and manage crores and crores of money, then obviously you can take AIF license, which is alternate investment fund, which is hedge funds in common language. So all these are opportunities once you think about becoming a fund manager. So investment advisory, where you are advising clients, PMS, where you are managing people's money as a portfolio management services, and AIF when you are planning to launch your own hedge funds. This is a journey which will take time. You typically start as an analyst, then become an investment advisor, then become a PMS manager, and finally you aspire to launch your own AIF. Apart from this, from a entrepreneurial perspective, you can also be part of your investment banking firm. Typically, people join investment banking firms, stay there, work there for some time, and when they spend a lot of time in the industry, people start knowing them. Then they think about starting their own boutique investment banking firm, which is like specialized investment banking for a particular purpose. That I think at this stage of your career, you can't start, because investment banking is all about how much network you have, how much understanding you have about the deals. So that will take some time for you to start your own division. But at least joining an investment banking firm and learning the art and skill of investment banking is something which you can aspire to do. So broker, analyst, advisor, or investment banking. These are more or less the entrepreneurial journey which you can take at this stage of market. There are different market, equities there, commodities there, currencies there, bond market is there. There are different markets available for you to explore. And there is ever evolving new science, new data science market, which is also evolving. For example, algo trading is very big in India. And if you are from engineering background, if you understand mathematics, if you understand the theory of probabilities, then you can actually think of becoming a data analyst in any prop trading firm. Or you can start your own algo trading firm, but obviously you need a fair bit of capital. Say, for example, you don't have capital. So you can partner with someone who has capital and you have skill set, and then you can start your own firm. For example, we created a firm based out of Bombay in 2009 called iRage, which is based out of Bombay, which is among the top 10 algo trading firms in India now, where these people, the IITM guys, they had models, ideas, and we had capital. So we partnered with them, and they're running the business as if it's their own business with a partnership stake. So if you have any idea in financial market, it could be in the domain of stock market or trading, or it could be in the domain of any fintech domain. Today's India you have no problem with respect to capital. I think the cheapest thing available in India right now is capital. And the most expensive thing which is available right now is idea. Okay. And people who are going to execute that idea. So if you have anything which is worth putting a brain on with respect to financial market, you will get good partners who would like to capitalize on your ideas. So this is the broadly, entrepreneurial journey based on my experience and what I think could be the right thing for you. Now I would like to take more questions from you, because the more you ask me questions, I'll be able to give you the right answer for your objectives.
Sure, sir. Sir, people will type in the chat and we will put up the questions to you.
Yeah.
Akshay, can you please take up the questions?
Yes, sure. Good evening, sir. Today I'm so happy that we are having our small version of face-to-face with you. As I have the privilege to ask the questions on behalf of my batchmates. First, I would like to start with my question. As per my knowledge and understanding, to build a business, one must have the correct problem statement, and to identify that problem statement, one must have good observation skills. So my question is, how to develop that good observation skill to identify or to look for the problem and build a business out of it?
So the way it has worked for me is that to build a business, first thing first is whether that business is solving your problem or not. I can see someone asking the question about stockage. Now, if you see why we build stockage is to satisfy our problem first. When we were doing research, I am a Bloomberg subscriber since last 15 years, and we pay 1.5 lakh to Bloomberg every month. It's a huge cost. And we don't use all the features of Bloomberg because Bloomberg is an abyss. So when I had to give utility to my traders, I can't ask my traders to subscribe to Bloomberg, right? So what we thought that all the traders, they need to do homework at the end of the day, because I'm a very strong believer that end of the day homework in market is far more effective than a intraday homework of the market, because intraday prices move without it does have randomness, there is logic, but then end of the day position is actually worthy position to analyze in the market. So we thought, can't we create a product which is between money control and Bloomberg? Because money control is owned by media, it is very noisy. I mean, the current version of money control is still better, but 2015 version of money control was very bad. So we thought, can we create a product for ourselves, right, for my traders, so that they can analyze the market in the evening for their better preparation in the market. So problem statement for me will always start if any product is satisfying your problem first. Because if it is not satisfying your problem, and if you don't create a product around your problem, then you will never be able to improvise on the product. There will be many people who will keep on giving you a lot of feedback. But finally, for an entrepreneur to get conviction on his or her own product, the problem has to be his or own to satisfy in due course.
Okay, so like basically we can say that if we go deeper into our own circle of competency, we'll able to find the opportunity.
Absolutely. One should always see the problem which is around you, not look out for. So we have this habit of making, dreaming a lot. कि अरे ये हो जाएगा दुनिया में तो ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल जाएगी. Maybe it has worked for me. I have always looked around my circle of competence and said that I don't know technology, but I see there is an opportunity in algo trading. So how do I solve this? Figure out how do we connect with right people and work with them together to get into that. So my problems was around my business. I didn't go and establish a soap factory, or I didn't go and establish Beardo because I have no idea about that business. So your circle of competence and your circle of good influence, if you merge both of these, then you will find that perfect recipe of a perfect successful business.
Okay. So second question is, while starting a business, we should first focus on developing a good tech or having a good business model, because now it's not just the finance domain anymore, it's a fintech.
So actually, the world is changing. In fact, in last 1.5 years, world has changed so much. So you can safely say that when you are thinking of starting something, first thing first is that you are going to run a tech company, irrespective of what you are doing. Even if you are going to start a factory, the presumption has to be that I'm running a tech company. Okay. So maybe 1.5 years ago or 2 years ago, I would have said that business model is most important and tech comes second. Now I would say that it's 50-50. Business model is also important, but if you don't have tech capability, then already you are starting with a disadvantage. Because guys who have tech capability or ability to scale up on the tech side will always have will always have an edge over you in terms of raising more money faster, in terms of scaling up the business faster. So maybe both of you will have same business model, but a tech person will be able to do it much better than probably you will be able to do it. And this is my own personal experience, which I'm sharing, that I'm a chartered accountant. I'm not a hardcore techie. So for me to get into any business with a tech orientation will be tougher, right? I will do a lot of learning and unlearning, and then I will become successful in that business. But someone with a strong tech background will do it much better, far faster than me. So the best way to do that is become partner with a techie. You see, most of the new startups, you will have at least 2-3 co-founders. One will be from the business side and one will be from the tech side.
So, continuing this question, I like to ask, like, how to ask right minds to work with you, how to find the right co-founder, how to collaborate with them,
I think the
how to
best, so I'll give you an example of how I connected with Team iRage. Um, so I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn just to figure out if someone is, interested in the domain of algo trading. And I fortunately got connected with someone. Okay. Also, I have this habit of talking to people, and one of the common friend, I was talking about my vision and I want to get into technology based trading. So he told me to connect with someone who is a common friend. Okay. So when I connected with that person through that other person as a common friend, and when I connected with a person through LinkedIn, I found that both these gentlemen are together willing to work on this common algo trading domain with me. So point is, we have to, they say that your network is your net worth. So we have to have good circle of influence where we can connect with right people. And the best way to start is within your batchmates, within your academic. So my founder, my partner in Stockage is Vinay Pagaria, who has been with me since class 1. I mean, we are together for almost 40 years. Now, who better than him to be my partner, right? So if you can get people who have studied with you together, then obviously you know each other quite well. So that's the best, marriage which can happen with you. Uh, but obviously, if you don't get like-minded people during your academics, then you have to kind of figure out in your network through references, and connect with the right person.
So, sir, these students are very curious about knowing how you handle different businesses, how you can multitask. Is it because you have the right partners?
Absolutely. I think it's the only way you can do multitasking or succeed in any business is to get the right partners or the right team members. And this is the new world which we all are living in, where there is no concept of owner. I don't consider myself to be the owner of a company, right? Or we all partners. We don't consider ourselves to be the owner of a company. The whole concept of corporate ownership is now getting diluted. Like in America, it's like clearly that there are no owners, right? There are shareholders. The company is the supreme. So when we all work in similar kind of a thought process, that every employee, every associate of the company, and I'm also employee of the company, are working for the company, which is a corporate, right? The moment you start working in this manner, it's easier to manage multiple businesses. But the moment I say that I am the owner of the company, then you start thinking, oh, this is my company, this is my company, this is my company. Well, obviously, the moment you do that, then there is more add-on pressure on you. to perform in each and every company. And then you will not get the right kind of partners which will collaborate with you, because no one want to work with, people will not work with me if I say that I'm the owner of the company. That's why I always use the term co-founder. Yes, I was founder, but then now after I founded, company belongs to everyone who is part of the company.
Okay, sir. Most of us are into equities and very less exposed towards commodities and currency markets. So what are the baby steps so that we can start and learn about currency market and start trading in it or the
So,
commodity market?
so the first thing first is my YouTube channel has a lot of videos on commodities and currency. So you can go through those videos. You will definitely get a very good base of both these instruments. And then the baby step will only come when the baby will take the step. And that happens once you start trading in the market. The good part is that currency market, you just need 2000 rupees to start trading currency market, because one lot margin requirement is only 1700 or 1800 bucks. So start with currency with small capital, start trading, because the moment you start trading, you will prepare yourself for any kind of contingency. It could be making money or it could be loss. But with 2000, 5000 rupees in derivatives, I think that's the only market where you can start. And as far as knowledge is concerned, I mean, my channel is there in Elan Markets. We have created Elan Markets /school, which is fantastic repository of text-based learning. So you can visit there, learn from there. Enough learning material is there in our platforms. Use them and then start trading the market, because market is the biggest teacher. Once you get into the market teaches you far better than probably all these videos and text.
Okay, sir. The next question is about cryptocurrency. So what are your views on cryptocurrency? And we as the students can enter into that market and learn about it.
Well, so I don't want to sound cynical or negative, because I don't have much knowledge about it. I'm still trying to learn. So for learning perspective, yes, you should learn, because crypto is not just crypto. It's the entire blockchain ecosystem which you should learn, because definitely world will change in next 10 years as far as blockchain implementation is concerned. And crypto is just one part of the blockchain. Whether I'm invested or not, I'm still not invested, because I'm a very traditional investor who want to see real businesses and put money in those real businesses. Crypto is definitely not a real business. It's the next level virtual business, which is still the world is trying to figure out how it works. So unfortunately, I missed that, but definitely you should learn and put some energy in learning about blockchain and crypto, obviously.
Okay, sir. We students want to know about your mutual fund distribution business, which got failed, and what are your learnings from the business?
Yeah. So thank you for asking me this question. Not many people want to hear about failures. So there were mistakes which I did. First thing first, when I got into mutual fund, there was a big fiasco which happened in India called US 64 fiasco, which was UTI mutual fund, US 64 scheme. There was a scam there. So the whole industry was going through a lot of trouble. And when industry was going through trouble, I started my business then, which I think was a bad decision, because things have to be in favor for your business to succeed. You can't swim against the tide. So if everything is in favor, वो कहते हैं ना, कहावत है ना कि पूरी कायनात आपके साथ लगे तभी आप successful होते हैं. So unfortunately that time mutual fund industry was going through a very rough time. So I was unfortunately doing uh, wrong thing at the wrong time, right thing at the wrong time. The second thing, I think also Calcutta probably was not the right city, because anyways the mutual fund penetration in cities like Calcutta was not as high. The best city was Bombay. So I would have probably stayed in Bombay, and I would have, because whenever you start your business, your market is very important for you to. Now it's online, so you really don't have to worry. But when we are doing an offline business, right city has to be there. I mean, you can't do business because you belong to a particular city. No, whenever you are thinking of any business, you have to be there in the right city where the market is, because ultimately you need to sell your products. Right now it's online, so you need to be there everywhere in online so that you can reach to the right audience who is there online. But when it was offline, Bombay and all those richer cities were the right cities where I would have probably started my business. And also third point was that that time I was not very partner centric person, so I wanted to do everything on my own with my own hands, which is definitely a worst thing you can do to yourself, because you can't do everything on your own. Then you will slow down your growth, and there is an opportunity cost, right? When you are a CA CS, then you start feeling like, oh, if I don't make 25-30,000 a month that time, then obviously I'm not doing justice to my qualification. So that the thought process of doing everything on my own and slowing down the growth, that was actually a very negative thing which didn't work well for me.
So, my friend Tejas have a question for you. He's saying that in one of your video, you have said about like if you trade in forex market, you will able to trade in any market. So, how can we start learning about forex market? And does any of your firm work in forex market? What are the business opportunities in forex market?
Okay, so when we talk about forex market, we are not talking about international forex, because from India you can't trade international forex. It's not allowed by RBI. So when we are talking about forex market, that means you are trading forex which are listed in Indian exchanges like USD INR, Euro INR, GBP INR. You can make Euro and Euro GBP by cross trading, but definitely only Indian exchanges. Now, how does any of your firms work in forex? Yes, we do work in forex. We are members of the exchanges, so we do trade in forex all the time, and forex has been a big revenue generator for us initially, especially because of the volatility. Right now the volatility is not so much high, so our money making opportunities will be lesser. So that's why I say that when you start, it's always good to start with forex, because volatility is under control and it's far more easier to predict a forex movement than predict the equity movement.
Next question is how to deal with the difference of opinion among the partners.
Uh, when you get married, you will get the answer to this question. The word is compromise, which India, I mean, it depends upon your value system, very honest. I mean, fortunately, I've come from that family background of joint family where we have taught the art of, compromise and listening to everyone and, think from other people's perspective, which over a period of time, we as a country are losing because, we all are becoming nuclear family. We all have our own opinions on everything, and social media has given us right to have opinions about everything. The more you are opinionated, the better, the higher is the chance of conflicts. You can check this with your girlfriend someday. So keep less opinions, listen to others, and think from their perspective. But definitely you will have conflicts, and you have to resolve those conflicts by going to their place in the evening, spending time with them and saying things which they like. And people generally resolve with good people.
So how can we learn about algorithmic trading? How can we start quant trading?
Yes. So one of my firm, iRage Capital, which is my algo trading firm, they have an institute called QuantInsti. It's based out of Bombay. It's an online institute. They have a lot of free content in their website. Just go to quantinsti.com. You will get lot of free quality blogs as well as free quality courses. You can first see them, learn the basics, and then if you want to do advanced things, then they have higher end courses also. But I would not recommend you to straight away get into a course because you are already undergoing a very good program. At least visit their website and consume all the free content which they have.
what are the things you learned by your failures in the market, by trading in the market?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
So what are your learnings from your failures while trading in the market?
Oh, every time when you fail, there is some new learning which the market has given. I think one of the major learning is that not one thing will work all the time. Okay, there will be patches when the same model which will not work. You need to develop that conviction of staying on with the model, especially the days when the model is not performing. Because we as an individual, as a human being, we don't like failures. And stock market give you that taste of profits and losses all the time. Losses we will never like, profit we obviously will cherish. So same model may not work all the time. So you need to continuously follow that model, improvise that model. And if suppose the model is not giving you money for a long period of time, then you need to discard the model. You can't get married to a particular model and say that, no, I will not do anything else because I know this model has given me money historically. So history is past in stock market. Obviously, we always try to find out patterns which will help us to predict the future. That is acceptable. But if suppose the prediction model is not working fine, then we should be always ready to develop a new model. Second thing is that there is no expert in stock market. No one. Every one of us are learners. So age doesn't matter. A 16-year-old can probably do a far better work than a 40-year-old. So learning is a constant thing in stock market because market changes every 3 years. Every 3 year, the structure of the market is changing because the player quality of players are coming different, it's changing. The regulations are changing. So it's so dynamic that you always need to be on your toes to adapt to the new ways of dealing with the market.
So what are the steps to start individual trading firm?
If you want to start your individual trading firm, first start with your own capital by opening an account with any broker. There are enough brokers like discount brokers or traditional brokers who are giving good platform these days. Start with that, generate 50-60% ROE over a period of 2-3 years. Say, for example, you start with say 10 lakh and then you target to generate higher capital. Once you generate that track record of 40-50% ROE, IRR over a period of time, then either you get more capital from your own sources or you find out a partner who would like to partner with you for this proprietary trading firm. If you only want to do proprietary trading, then you can take alpha membership of the exchange. Alpha membership of the exchange is a very, very cost effective membership where you need to keep a deposit of, I believe, 50 lakhs. And there are nominal charges. I think it's only 4 to 5 lakh which you have to pay as a fees. Alpha membership gives you the right to do proprietary trading. So you can start trading the exchanges. So you will have your own lease line, own trading terminal, everything you will own your own and then start the market. So you need to have at least a crore, a capital to start your own membership because there will be high compliance costs, there will be operation costs which you have to take care. So you start with 1 crore capital, and if you don't have that capital, I think it's better to open an account with a broker and use their infrastructure to trade the market.
Sir, in addition to this question, there was something more asked, like if the person can pool the money from people and give them a fixed interest rate on monthly basis. So how this strategy can be for the future prospect?
That's not allowed. It's not allowed. Pooling capital can only happen in case of PMS. That's the structure. If you are thinking of pooling capital, uh, creating an LLP or a partnership firm, then obviously you can have only limited number of partners there. Plus, you cannot commit fixed return. In India, you are not allowed to commit fixed return. It's actually illegal. So you can be behind bar if you do something like that. Because ultimately, if you give any commitment to anyone, there has to be a document. And once you sign the document, it becomes an evidence. And since you are studying in NISM, you would be knowing that SEBI is a subjudicial authority. That means SEBI can give a arrest warrant in collaboration with the local police station. So you don't want to be on the wrong side of the law. And we as a market participant, we are very, very wary of the SEBI regulations. So you cannot give these kind of guaranteed return schemes until unless you run your own PMS, where you obviously have to give all those declarations to the regulator that this is what we are doing.
Okay, sir. 5 years down the line, which segment in finance industry will have an exponential growth? Will it be a brokering segment or mutual fund or fintech?
I think the whole color of the industry is changing and fintech is taking the lead, and all these traditional broking or mutual fund segment will definitely become marginalized. So fintech is the way to look at, not just because it's a buzzword, but it really has increased the efficiency of working in the financial system. So definitely look at fintech. In fintech, broadly, there are asset side and liability side. I think both has equivalent potential. Asset side is more on the investment side, and liability side is more on the loan side. So depending upon your interest area and your focus, you should select your fintech, either your own fintech or you want to work with any fintech and focus there. The other ones are more traditional. They will always be there because there is a traditional set of participant in India which belongs to a different strata of society, and there is a millennials, there are younger ones, there are DIY audience who prefer fintech. And I think fintech is going to lead this whole new growth of financial inclusion in our country.
What are your observations with respect to innovations in stock market after the investment of Kotak Bank in you?
Well, after the investment, nothing much has happened. We are still trying to figure out a synergy there. A bank will always have its own challenges in terms of adapting to new changes. But we have seen the evolution of financial market in last 6, 7 years, and massive innovation is coming. And obviously, fintechs have a big role to play here because technology has fast tracked the innovation, and COVID has pushed people to adapt to technology. So it's actually the bonus which has happened for fintech firms that they already were adapting to new ways of doing financial inclusion. For example, demonetization, for example, the Aadhaar linkage, etc. That has really helped fintechs to adapt to the new financial inclusion. And COVID has pushed people very hard to work towards the financial inclusion. So it's a double advantage which fintechs enjoyed. Kotak Bank, they have invested in us because they knew that they can't do what we are doing. And this is the need of the hour that most of these traditional biggies, they will have to work with people like us so that we give our piece to them and we adopt their piece for an inclusion growth in the market together.
So the next question is, like most of the students have to education loan. So we have to pay that education loan after our education. Also, we have some family responsibilities later on. So because in that state, we are not able to think about doing a business or starting a business. So what will be your guide, like suggestion for us to start, and how can we tackle with this situation?
So that's the reason why I said that, after your academics, it's better to work in a good company that will give you two advantages. One, obviously, will reduce the loan load from your mind because if you are not free, your creativity will get hampered. And second is you will understand the best business practices from big large institutions, which will make you business ready. So work in a good enterprise for a period of 2, 3 years, 4 years, and then by the time you're working, prepare your dream. And then after you are done with the working, get into this. I think from day one, getting into business is only possible for people who have a bit of capital support, a bit of mental support as well, because entrepreneurship is a lone battle. After a point of time, you start feeling alone because you have to deal with so many things. And in India, it's very tough to be an entrepreneur because Once you open a shop, you will have at least 20 regulators knocking your door and trying to do all kind of things with you. So, not that I'm discouraging you, but that's how we live in our country, where there are more regulators than probably customers at times. So work in some firm for some time before you get into it.
Okay, so looking at the time, I think we should conclude here from here. So, it is said that sharing is caring and is a common phrase, but had a big meaning that when we share something with someone else, it is equal to caring for him. I, on behalf of the entire NISM ECEL, would like to thank Vivek Bajaj sir for taking out the time and sharing his wisdom with us. We wish his ventures, especially the e-learn market and the stock exchange, to achieve the greatest summit. I would like to thank all the faculty, IT team, marketing team, ECEL members, without whom this session would not have been possible. Thank you, sir. And now we will present a certificate of appreciation to you. Kindly accept it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you guys. Best of luck. In case you need anything from me, ever you feel that you need me, my email ID is vivek@stockist.com, and I'll be happy, glad to help you wherever I think I can.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a
Thank you
lot.
very much.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye bye. Take care. Take care of yourself.